Stan Gibilisco here. I have a little non-medical advice about a medical matter that I'd like to offer you. Chances are pretty good that you have had experience with some drugs like this. Tiger Woods certainly has. If you've read much of the news lately, you'll know that he has had problems with prescription medications. Apparently benzodiazepines and opioids. I've had problems with both of those too, and when I saw his face in the article that I read online about him and his problems with those drugs, I just felt great sympathy for the man, because I've been there. I know what he's going through, and I wish him the best of luck. And luck sometimes is what you're going to need if you get hooked on benzodiazepines, opioids, or various other kinds of prescription medications that can be addictive. Opioids are things like morphine. My particular opioid is called hydromorphone, and I got it originally for horrific intestinal pain, and it was also prescribed after a couple of surgeries that I had within the past couple of years. I am off that medication now. I never took very much. The doctor recommended I take 4 pills a day, and I said, no way am I going to do that. I'm only going to take a half of one a day, and that's all I took, and I have been able to get off of that. The benzodiazepine is called clonazepam, but I've also had some problems with lorazepam, diazepam, and chlordiazepoxide. They go by various trade names such as Valium, Librium, Klonopin, or something like that. And the hydromorphone goes by the trade name Dilaudid, I believe. But in any case, these drugs have their place, and with proper usage can be a great help. But I think people have a tendency to get hooked on these drugs and abuse them, and you know you're addicted when you start tricking your doctor into writing more prescriptions for you, even though the original cause is gone. Now the cause is not pain or anxiety. The cause is addiction, because you'll develop pain and anxiety if you withdraw, and that withdrawal itself will cause the pain or anxiety. The sleeping pill that I was on, I forget what that was called. Zolpidem. Zolpidem it was called. That was its generic or its chemical name. I'm off that. I'm off the morphine or the hydromorphone. I'm off of those. It was kind of unpleasant, but I've gotten off of it. At the beginning of the year, I told my doctor I want to be off all this stuff. I don't need this stuff, I want off of it. But the benzodiazepine has proven to be vastly more difficult to get off of. And that's the Xanax that they said that Tiger Woods had been taking. Or at least I think they found it in his system or something like that. Just look at the guy's face in those pictures. He looks so miserable. I'll tell you that some side effects of benzodiazepines taken long term can include depression, dementia, confusion, loss of coordination, and even insanity in some cases. Those drugs have driven more than one person to become so despondent that they've killed themselves, committed suicide. A prescription medication, perfectly legal, taken in legal dosages, not gotten off the street, gotten from a perfectly legitimate doctor and pharmacy. So my advice to you is that if a doctor ever prescribes any of these medications for you, get a second opinion, unless it's for some emergency situation like you had your appendix removed, or you had a major surgery of some kind or another. But even after surgery, I took only the minimal amount of the hydromorphone, and probably could have done without it altogether had it not been the fact that I was addicted to the stuff to begin with. Only a small dose can addict you, and so that's about all I have to say on that, and I speak from experience. And also, last Labor Day I celebrated 28 years without an alcoholic drink. And that's, I guess, praise the higher powers, because I was a serious case indeed back in 1987, 88. A serious case indeed. You can get off this stuff. That's the good news. The bad news is it's so damn easy to get on and get hooked. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until you are drug-free, and I'm drug-free, or at least I'm on the road to it. So long.